coming show. Ghana. Okay, no. Let me leave you to do it. do it. For me, I like the guy at the back, the guy with the backing vocals.
Yeah. So what happened was I told Nabil that I need to do something real. I need to integrate myself. Okay. And if you've been paying attention, I've always tried to integrate my art with Ghana, based on the fact that I owe you guys a certain level of my growth. My first big show that sold me to the world, I did it in Ghana. That was when I did two things involved.
Okay.
That performance was what took me.
Mind blowing.
Yeah, so I'm like, what, I owe these guys. That's why you notice that I use Kwabena in my, doing a show called Ghana Jollof. Right. So I thought, what, my next promo, I'm going to try and speak your language, should teach me. So I'm not that good.
So it was Nabil?
It was Nabil. Nabil was my instructor, was my teacher.
So do it. Ghana 4.
Ghana 4. Michomo. Mumbra. Nayesri. Trust me, if you watch the other video, Buchi didn't let me do it well.
Okay.
It's an amazing language. I love you. I'm going to learn more.
Okay.
On my way here, I was like, wouldn't it be cool for you to learn the language and come stay here for like a year?
Okay.
And just chill.
Yeah. But this is home,
Get married to a Ghana woman and stuff.
It's about time, man. It's about time. Now you're single.
Yeah, single. I'm not just kidding. I'm not ready to, jump into anything just yet. But I'm just kidding.
They are listening.
I know they are. Maybe I'm not kidding. Who knows?
Wow. Okay, so folks, Basketmouth live in color here, live in living color.
Man.
Right. So yeah, Ghana for me Chiamo Mumbra na yense. So yeah, that's the reason you are back home.
Yeah, man. And I stopped doing stand-up comedy professionally for about like 5 to 6 years.
Really?
Yeah, but most people didn't know, because what I did was I kept the London show going. So for every February, I'm doing a show there. So I use that to just so I don't get rusty.
Now, why did you choose February, your birthday or something?
No, it's just the show is themed around the Valentine period. So we did. I've been doing the show for like 15 years now. So, but for the past 6 years, I've just been floating. Then last year I told myself and my team that I'm coming back to comedy, and I'm going to do 5 years, and I'm quitting. Yeah. So I'm quitting in 5 years. I've got 5 more years to go to do this, and I'm done.
But you can't quit.
No, like the thing is, I can. So. There's a plan. I've got the way I plan my life. I'm like, okay, when you get to 50, you stop, you drop the mic.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be cracking jokes every now and then, but it's not going to be a professional thing for me.
Okay.
So if you see me doing a gig, it's just maybe I'm doing pro bono.
Okay.
Or but I will not charge anybody to perform again. You understand? Because I've made enough. I won't say I've made enough, but I've committed myself to the art long enough to go like, take a break or, quit, and whatever you're doing from now till the end of time is you just having fun, because I'm into TV right now, movie, series and all that, concerts, production. That's where I want to try. I want to start a new journey. I want to experience something new. I'm going to be doing, at the end of 5 years, that's like 31 years in the game.
Oh, wow.
That's a long time. That's pretty much more than half of my life.
Yeah, sure.
So I want to do something else, and I want to be remembered for other things other than,
legendary,
stand-up. Yeah.
Great. As successful as you are, how challenging has it been in the industry?
Oh, it's very challenging. It's very difficult. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I actually pulled out from it. Like, the fact that I was being forced, not intentionally, but based on the fact that you need to feed, you're being forced to do what you don't want to do. I'm a stand-up comedian. I am not an MC. But unfortunately, in Nigeria, they prefer for you to be an MC and also a stand-up comedian as well. That's not my design. I'm a stand-up comedian, not a master of ceremony. So that was very difficult because this is me fighting myself every day, asking myself, are you true? Are you honest with your game? Are you honest with your art? And at some point I was like, you know what, you're going to drown if you stay like this. And there's one thing people ask now, how do you stay relevant? That's another problem, and it shouldn't be a problem, which is not for me. Yeah, but for some people, that's a problem for them because they try as much as possible to remain relevant and end up forcing themselves to do something they're not supposed to do. So for me, I just enjoy the ride, and but that maintain, growing up, getting to the top is maybe not too easy, but staying there is very difficult. You
have mentioned this yesterday or something like that.
Yeah, staying there is very difficult. You have to stay fresh, and everyone is looking at you. You are a big target. Any mistake you make, you're probably a disaster waiting to happen. So those things are things you have to be mindful. You can't forget who you are at every point in time. And bro, man, I'm human.
True.
And I want to do normal stuff. I can't be acting like someone is always looking. I want to be free, and that's the life I want to live. For after 50, I want to be free. I want to leave the space. I just want to be, behind the scene, producing TV shows and all that, and live a normal life.
You just as you mentioned, you want to live a free life. They always say the people that entertain rather don't get entertained.
Exactly. I want to be entertained.
So what entertains you?
I'm for the first time in about 26 years, I'm going on a holiday.
You've never been?
I've never been.
Always working.
Always working. So next month, I'm going on a boat cruise.
And that's going to be your entertainment.
That's my entertainment.
Jesus.
Because they have a lot of stuff on the boat, right? And I'm just going to because there, the good thing is people will know who I am, right? At least 99.9%, they will know. So there, I'll watch what they watch, go for the shows, see the whole,
You'll be amazed the number of people that will approach you for autographs.
I doubt that. I picked the right boat.
That no one will notice you?
Not like they will. Definitely, there are Nigerians, Africans doing the same thing, but it won't be that many. And it's but in terms of entertainment, I love comedy. In actual fact, I love watching comedians perform. I enjoy comedy, so I love to watch people perform and laugh and enjoy it. I love music. I love movies. In terms of entertainment, I'm very easy to please. I'm not a hard crack. But it's gonna be fun, man. I'm really looking forward to it.
Do you pay to watch comedians perform?
Yeah, I've paid to watch. I paid to watch Chris Rock perform. I've paid to watch. Okay, with Kevin Hart, I got a complimentary ticket, but I've paid to watch, a lot of comedians perform. Mario Joyner and the rest of them.
How about Africans?
African comedians. It was just Trevor Noah, but it was a complimentary ticket as well.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
But I'll pay. If the person is worth it, I'll pay to watch a person perform, definitely.
But in Nigeria, sometimes I ask myself, Nigerians are, if my English is right, funny. As in, even in normal Nigerian, 1, 2, and it will make you laugh.
Yes.
Interesting individuals.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, and I don't know how they do it, that they stage comedy shows and the place is packed. Like, who's going to make who laugh?
Based on the fact that the crowd they're also funny. Yeah, so I agree with you because when I was younger, I actually did not know that I was funny because everyone around me were funny. Okay. Like funnier than I was, and I thought it was a normal thing until I left that space and I went to the university and I realized that no, it's actually a thing. So when I'm gisting with the new friends I had made as a then, they were always laughing. Whatever I say, man, they always want to be around me. Back then in class, girls want basket bright, whatever. And I always, whatever I say, they laugh. And I wasn't the only person that was doing it. There were other people that are also funny. And I worked my way through it. And where I schooled, Benin, Edo State, they have a large pool of funny individuals.
Okay.
Then in Delta State, they are the funniest.
Okay.
Right? So in Nigeria, it's regional. Like Delta State, Edo State, those guys are extremely funny. Some areas in the east where I come from, we are also funny there too. So now you can imagine making this cross section of people laugh, because most of them, they even know where your story is going to.
Right.
Yeah, so you have to be extremely cerebral, you understand, very timely with your materials in Nigeria to succeed, because sometimes they'll just laugh to just support you. Doesn't mean that you really blew their mind.
Okay.
But they love comedy back home, you know, back in Nigeria. And
in your case, when you're going on stage, do you script it or you are just spontaneous?
Nah, it's not scripted. 50 or not. Or so the way I do mine, yeah. I prepare the materials, like I write them and I make everything connect, because when you're on stage, you want to tell a story. You want people to follow your story. You want them to get into your space and live in your world. So you have to create a nice scenario for them to be comfortable in, because with comedy, with one distraction, they've missed the joke.
Right.
So you need to. So that is the hard work. How to connect each material and make it sync and have a proper set. However, when I am doing just a normal gig, I can't go scripted because anything can happen.
Right.
But if it's a one-man stand-up comedy show, it's not scripted, but it has a rhythm, it has a direction. Like when I did the tour, the Unprovoked tour in the UK and Europe, there was a script, not like a script. There was, because what I do is I outline the topics. So from this topic you go, but each topic must connect with the next, right? So during the course of the tour, I take some things out. Okay, I don't need this, I don't need that, you know, and that's the way it works. But sometimes while I'm on stage, something new can just come in, because while you're telling the joke, it's your joke, yes, but there are some new ideas, because there's nothing like a complete joke. So while you're telling that joke, some new ideas will come in, you throw it in, and sometimes the spontaneous ones are actually the funniest. And sometimes someone will do something, you have to, you know, launch back.
So wait, that joke about the two things,
Yeah.
are you saying it was spontaneous?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
No. So the thing is, when we write materials, right, there are some materials like Two Things Involved and a couple of other classics that I have. You have to write them and let it connect. Like if you follow me on Instagram, there's something I used to do called the bright side. Like the bright side, when I start a topic, that's not where I'm ending. So I misdirect you. I start from here and I go this way, just like Two Things Involved. I have not been able to recreate a material like that. It was a blessing. Do you understand? And there are some materials you have to make sure you fine tune it to the point where people can follow you. You mislead them, bring them back, because it's called a callback. You know, I ended where I started. You know, that's how. Those are the materials that it's hardly spontaneous. You have to.
There was this classic. There was this joke. You told about someone who had gone to register a church.
Oh, that one.
This was like, what, 10 or 15 years ago?
10 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah,
and I remember he mentioned it. The guy checked. He said, no, that is what he said. Then he mentioned another name. I said, no, check again. Yeah. And then he gave a tall list of names. And that was rather registered, man.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Thank you very much. That joke has never been said the same ever. Like every time I do it, it's different. Sometimes it's 100, sometimes it's 95, sometimes it's 85, sometimes it's like 150.
Okay.
It depends on the mood, because that joke, the power of that joke is the name of the churches.
Yeah.
You understand? The name, how you. But sometimes because of I make the name on stage. It's created right there on stage. So sometimes I get it right. Sometimes it's not 100%. But yeah, that's one of my favorite jokes actually.
Have you ever been on stage and may have forgotten something?
Yeah, it happens.
Really?
Yeah. Like the thing is, you have to. I don't know how I do it. I think it's just part of the blessings, right? So sometimes I can be on stage and I'm thinking of what I'll eat after the show.
This guy. Really?
Yeah, like my mind is. I don't know how I do it. So, like during this last tour, like the Unprovoked tour, which is what I'm doing in Ghana. There was a time I was so comfortable with the materials. I could be on stage and just chill, like I'm going, because it's like a flow. When you get into that rhythm, everything is aligned. You just keep going, and it gets to the point where sometimes I go like, okay, what comes next? Oh damn, you've forgotten. Then I start fishing while I'm still talking. People don't know, but as I'm telling you this particular material, I actually don't know what I'm saying next. Okay. But towards the end of this one, sometimes it comes, and if it doesn't come, I will go to something similar to that material and buy time until I remember. So comedy is not really that easy, but people don't know, man.
Well, they say fooling ain't, the Americans say fooling is no joke.
Yeah, man, it's no joke.
Fooling ain't no joke. But have you had time to perform with Ghanaian comedians?
Yeah, I've like Obi Aponsa.
Okay,
He's
Obi.
been to Nigeria before. I brought him to Nigeria.
Mad.
He nailed it.
Yeah,
he represented you guys.
Yeah, I saw it.
You saw the performance.
Yeah.
Right? He was a monster.
He told us, there was this joke he told about, I think when he was ending, he said he went out, he took a lady home, and then the lady took the corset. Is that what, corset? The lady took it off, and then the lady's voice changed.
Yeah.
And he said, how is it that just some few minutes ago you were talking like Celine Dion, all of a sudden you are sounding like Don Jazzy. And that was dope.
No, he killed it. Yeah. And Jacinta did the same as well. So the thing is, I've not really worked with a lot of Ghanaian comedians, but the few ones I've worked with, they delivered the goods, and that's the reason I am trying to. I've told Nabil, I think he locked him down already. So Obi's going to be performing.
I think he's in London. Or is he back? He's back. Okay.
He's a great guy. I love his work, and Bucci is going to be performing as well. It's going to be a great show.
So how many comedians will be on the stage?
We're looking at about like 4
or
5 comedians. Aside me, or maybe including me.
It's going to be a great night then.
Dude, Kwabena is performing. He's one of my favorites.
Oh, your guy.
It's my guy.
Not long ago, I saw you with Sarkodie. I think you guys were in Germany?
Yeah,
or in London?
In London.
Okay.
In London. He was going to Germany. I just came back from Germany. And also, and funny thing is, Shatawale is actually on my next album. Right? Okay. So it's just interesting that everything is happening, like this whole Ghana integration with myself and you guys, and I love the fact that and for some reason I've been bumping into a lot of Ghanaian brothers and sisters, like in Ghana, Sarkodie, this one, the next, me and Shatawale, the way his response, right? I've known him for a while, but we've never had the opportunity to really speak properly. And I told him, like, look, I'm working on this album. I'd like for you to jump in it. And I sent him the song. He loved it. He was done with it under a few hours. He had given me his verse and he nailed it. And the guy said something quite interesting. The guy said, you know what? It's for free. You don't need to pay me any royalty or anything. Take it. It's yours.
Okay. Wow.
Like, dude, man, nobody has ever done that before. And to think that it's a Ghanaian brother doing that, it made me very humble. So, I'm loving what's going on right now in my life.
Straight. Well, you are loved. So when is the event?
It's on the 8th, Easter Saturday, 8th of April.
8th April. Oh wow.
Yeah, it's going to be like, we did about 16 shows already. Yeah, before heralding this one, and all the shows we did were monster shows, man. And this is the first time we're doing it in Africa. So we started in Manchester, moved around, went to Stockholm, Switzerland, everything, Germany, and now Ghana.
Will you ever stop in Nigeria?
Yes, but I just canceled the Nigerian show. It was supposed to be April 30th. There's a lot of things happening right now, and people are not in the mood.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have to respect that because the election didn't come out the way they...
You didn't vote?
I was not around.
Even if you were around, you wouldn't have voted.
No, if I was around, I would have voted.
Yeah.
I always vote
for the same guy.
I'm not going to tell you. I don't want to get into trouble, man.
Wow.
The next thing, they'll drag the hell out of me.
I know. So, yeah, where is it happening? National Theatre Conference Center?
International Conference Center.
Conference Center.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you guys, all you guys listening, trust me, you don't want to miss this show.
Ghana 4.
You don't want to miss this show. It's going to be amazing. Myself, Buchi, Kwabena, Obi Aponsa, and a couple of other guys. We intend to, I'm doing an hour, 30 minutes on stage.
Wow.
Yeah, all brand new materials. And you guys are going to be hearing everything first in Africa. Okay. We've not done in Africa. I'm doing South Africa this weekend. And yeah, I'm touring. Like, I've got 5 more years. So I need to make it
worthwhile.
Count. Yeah, I need to make it worthwhile.
Wow. Let me start with you, Robert. This is your...
Hey, man. I didn't even look this way.
This is your turf. Yeah. Because, well, you've been championing comedy, you and your company. And so, yes, that's your guy.
I didn't look this way. Yeah. I knew someone sat next to me. I didn't know who it was.
Well, because it's on the ticket for Nabil, I can't speak too much of Chatter House. It will be a bit some way ambush marketing. Right. I just want to be ethical here. So big props to Nabil and Events Factory on that. Basketmouth, I think he's been on our platform several times, and one of the times I actually got closer to see his works was in Atlanta, Georgia, when Shegun had the NRC project. Yeah. And then, he had a show. It was one man on stage, and he brought it home. I'm like, home and away. This man is killing it, because I'd already encountered him here in Ghana. And then I also saw his works out there, and since then, back and forth, I usually deal with Anne.
Oh, yeah, Anne Ambassador.
Yeah, Anne, his your manager. So yeah, I mean, we all know Basketmouth. The mouth is still the same.
Yeah, worse now though.
So yeah, I mean, there's certainly one thing that we know for sure, if nothing at all, that we are not sure of. There's one thing we are sure of: the fact that you deliver.
Straight.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
You can't go wrong with Basketmouth.
I'll throw you to Bulldog, but first, how did the name Basketmouth come up?
Oh, that. So, interesting story. We were on stage. I used to rap back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was rap music.
I'll give you a beat today.
So the music you're talking about, is it rap music?
The new album?
Yeah.
No, it's Afrobeat, but it's a blend of everything. It's got dancehall, hip hop, and all that.
Okay.
So we're on stage performing as a rap group, and they started booing us big time. They wanted to see the main artist, so they didn't want to see anybody. So they started booing us. And me, I'm good with heckling. Like, I was like a monster back then in secondary school. So I was like, what the hell is going on? So I told the DJ to stop the music, right? And I told the rap group, let's you guys take a break.
Chill.
Then I held the mic and I faced the crowd for about like 30 minutes. I was going in on them, and people started laughing. I was insulting everybody, literally. Everybody for booing us. Are you mad? And if I see this one's head, I will insult this one. People started laughing. So it was now like a heckling session. Okay. And that lasted for about like 30 minutes.
Hey!
When I was done, I went backstage, and one guy that came out from the venue saw me. I was like, this guy. Oh, boy, you get Basketmouth too.
Okay.
I was like, And I went to Bayo DK, and I told Bayo, like, someone just called me Basketmouth. What do you think? And then they actually convinced me to do comedy. Rap was my thing. Yeah, I was not really interested in comedy because I did not know. I didn't know about any stand-up comedian. I was not aware of it. The first person that I was eventually introduced to was Eddie Murphy. Someone gave me his VHS tape, and I was like, dude, watch this guy. And when I watched it, I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to do this. I think I like this. And that's how it all started.
But prior to that, what was your name?
My rap name was The Lyricist.
He has to drop some lyrics.
Yeah, you know.
I'll be like, hello.
You know.
What beats? Make them give him some
Yo,
old
we
school.
will give us some old school beats. All right, boo.
Big man, how are you?
I'm good, man. I know you, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I used to be at Chatter House.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, For me, I've seen you perform too many times. One of the things that struck me the first time I laid eyes on you, because then I was given an artwork to do. So I did a caricature of you on one of our, and he came by the office, to tour the office, and he looked too serious to be, for I've seen his videos prior to that. But, meeting him is like corporate, he's a very nice person, but he didn't look like, and on the night, since then I've been an ardent follower.
Thank you very much.
So God bless you for what you're doing for Africa.
Thank you.
I think this is Africa's time. And you guys have been doing this thing from long. God should give you strength, and I'm hoping that in 5 years, as you retire, you have a lot of basket mouths.
Yes.
One of the things I also...
Mouthlets.
Yeah. I like you said something about TV production. I don't know, maybe I don't follow a lot, but I'm hoping to see a lot of, comedy series, from your end, because of something that you've championed for a long while. If you have something that is as a legacy of yours, that will run as episodes every time, I think it will be great.
So on African Magic, we do My Flatmates, right? And that's like 260 episodes every year. And we've done this, we're on our 7th season. But then again, I did Papa Benji on YouTube as well. And we did Ghana Jollof on Showmax, which is now on African Magic. But what I'm doing next is I intend to create things that people like, stuff on Netflix, Prime Video and all those stuff. And trust me, I intend to do, because that's my field. I like to give back to my peoples, make everybody happy. Because the industry is not as easy as it used to be during our time. Because as at the time I came into comedy, I think we only had about like 10 professional stand-up comedians in Nigeria, but now it's over 200. So the market is very tough. So, and I tell my friends most times, I say, guys, don't die in this game. Even if you look at Kevin Hart, he's doing TV, he's doing movies, he's doing everything, reality shows, everything. The same thing with Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle did movies, you understand, and all that. Did his own, that is the Dave Chappelle show. They don't stick to that. Eddie Murphy, the same thing. D.L. Hewley, anybody, Chris Rock, they are all, like, you need to diversify your art, because comedy is a pure art form. People don't know. Comedy is like poetry, it's like rap music. So you need to harness it and squeeze the juice out of it. And I intend to do that.
God bless you.
Yeah, thank you very much, man. Nice to see you again, man. You guys, man.
I was going to ask a question about, because of the industry. I was going to say that you should make, just list career opportunities or things that comedians can do when they are not just on stage. That kind of stuff, because a lot of people actually think, if you have the talent, you have the skill, it's just about the stage. But it's not. The business aspect, money may not always come from the stage, but sometimes you wouldn't know this until you talk to people who are in the space, because they've been there, so they can tell you that, look, money they come from here always. You need to stretch, you need to do that. Maybe if you can just walk us through that, just 1 minute or 2 minutes.
Okay, let me see. So the thing is, some comedians are gifted with creativity, their style of creating materials is actually deeply rooted, or more than others, right? Those people are the ones that can easily create sitcoms or skits and all that. So you see, the art of skit making, most people don't know, is actually a form of making crazy money. Because if you're doing a skit and you have to drink water, it can be branded. If you have to drink alcohol, it can be branded, even down to what you're wearing. So all you need to do is to create the skit, enough to make people notice you. Then you go and meet these brands and show them a reference, like, look, guys, this is what I've done. These are my views, XYZ. But for the next series, and now, this is where it gets better. And this is my trick, and I'm telling you guys. Make everything a package. Don't just throw out things. Create a poster for it. Make it seasonal. Make it a thing. That's when a brand will want to affiliate themselves with it when they know that, okay, it's not a one-off. He's doing 13 episodes of this thing. And they are thinking, how can we plug in our brands? Because what you're selling is the fact that, look, there's no limit. If you put your TV advert on TV, it's only showing in Ghana. But when you put it on my platform, the whole world is going to watch it. So that's what you're selling. A lot of people don't know, but you can make crazy money just creating skits. You understand? Down to the car you drive. You can go and meet the car company and tell them that, look, I'm doing an advert and I'd like to use you. Because they are branding for people for free. You understand? There's a lot to, trust me, I need to do a TED Talk one of these days.
Yeah, very necessary.
Yeah. Now, Bill, maybe we'll do something small when I come to Ghana, maybe like a day before the show, for a few entertainers and all that.
Like a seminar, sort of.
Yeah, small thing.
Comedian Hogan sends his regards.
Oh yeah, man. I hope you. Hey, man, Hogan, how you doing?
He says he would love to do the show. So
yeah. Nabil is the man.
Nabil, please book Hogan. All right, Martinez.
Yeah,
Martinez, nice name.
Thank you. One of the finest. One of the finest comedians we've seen in our game. Yes, and for me, I think you brought a certain standard, certain class. A comedian with a swag. That's how I used to call you.
Interesting.
With a dreadlocks and, I like that brand so much. I don't know why you cut it off, but it looks so good on you. Yeah. That gave you a certain unique look.
I know, right? So what happened was I got tired. Then my kids as well. So my son was the one that said, Daddy, when are you going to cut this hair? And when your kids just look at you and tell you something, you know that they've been processing it for a long time. And maybe they've discussed it with their friends. So immediately he just said, when are you going to cut your hair? I asked him, don't you like it? He said, no anymore.
Okay.
So that was one of the things. But besides that, I actually wanted to be brand. And I was like, you know what? I'm creating Papa Benji. Mr. Jiminus cannot have dreadlocks.
Okay.
So I had to start rebranding myself, and gradually into a new. Well, if you notice, sometimes I leave the afro. Okay. Sometimes I keep changing it. So that now there's no style. I'm anything right now. But I really love the look, and as at the time I did it because, like you said, it made me stand out, and I did not do it intentionally. I was just doing it for fun. Then somebody said, Bright, if you do this kind of hair, people will not book you. And I love things like that. I was like, they will not book me. Okay, you know what? Let me see if they will not book me. So all I needed to do was to be better at what I do, and let's see what's going to happen. And everyone accepted it. But before then, they used to frown at things like that. Yeah, I was one of the few people that started doing such hairstyle. Before, when you do that, this one is probably a druggie or something. But I changed it.
It's true, because I faced it. Remember, I told you before. I had gone to a program after my presentation. A lady called me. In fact, she was light-skinned. I don't want to say she's white. Okay, I've said it. And she asked me, well, you speak so well. But what's it with the hair?
Yeah, they do that all the time.
The things with the hair.
What's it with the hair?
Because you had beard, and when your daughter said, "Daddy, when are you cutting off the beard?"
It wasn't.
Yeah,
that.
The thing is said about kids. Yeah, so I was on the phone with my son Ishra, and I'm saying, something serious, and he's just held his chin like this, and I'm like, "What's your problem?" He says, am I all right? I said, yeah. So I'm going gray. If I want to die, I should come there and die. I shouldn't die in Ghana. Who told you if you go gray?
So
kids, they are funny.
For me, I'm very happy this is happening in Ghana. And like you said earlier on, should I say the biggest breakthrough you had with the two things about... Yeah. Actually took place in Ghana.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so for me, it's a very big plus for our industry, especially with the comedians. If actually it gave you that limelight,
if Accra gave me that kind of platform, you can never tell.
That is something that is encouraging to the young comedians It
was Charterhouse.
That one I can mention
To be honest, I promise you, like I always say it, I don't hold it back. Mr. Ayola,
you are there.
I owe him a lot, right? Because what happened when he called me through Upper Williams that used to do all night of $1,000. I didn't want to do it. The offer wasn't great. I had other things I was doing, but Upper Williams convinced me, and I was like, you know what, I'll do it reluctantly. Then after a while, when I started hearing the hype and everything, I was like, you know what, let me just come do it. I came here. It was my first time. It was fun.
Then the offer was great and greater.
No, it was still the same. But what now made me happier? Because nobody knew me. Nobody knew me. You know. And I got there, got to the venue. I loved the venue. I was like, man, I didn't know that Ghana had all this stuff. You know what I mean? So when I got on stage, I went there with everything I had. I was like, you know what? I need to deliver. And immediately I finished that performance. Even before I started, the place was already, and I got off stage. The video came out on YouTube. Someone called me and said, that one show you did in Ghana is on YouTube. I was like, really? I went, I watched it. I was like, man, but they didn't take my permission. So I wanted to strike them. But I thought about it. I was like, no, this is a good performance. Because to be honest, I do not like my materials to go on YouTube because that means you can't say them again.
Right.
So when I looked, I was like, this is a classic. It shouldn't just waste like that. But at the time I was contemplating it, I had gotten a call from South Africa.
Wow.
I like, you know what, let this video stay there.
Let me bust your brain. You see, at that time, Nabdo was still working with us.
Yeah.
He's been with us all that time.
Wow.
Back in the days with Charterhouse, So the production and all that stuff you see, it was
him. I remember him. That's how your whole thing started. And it was, I don't know, man, but big up to Charterhouse, man. I owe them because everything, even Russell Peters, right? I was in Canada when I went to do Just for Laughs Comedy Festival in Montreal, and at the after party, he was standing. I wanted to go say hi to him. But, a lot of people were going to him to take pictures. So I was waiting until I have my time. So one of his friends, Ruben, we are now friends, he noticed that I was timing my entry. So he called me. He called me like, you want to talk to Russell? I was like, yeah, I'm just waiting. He said, okay, you stand here. So when Russell was done, I was just next to Ruben. And Russell looked at me and he saw my tag. He picked it up, flipped it around and said, Basketmouth? And looked at me, Basketmouth, man, I love your stuff. And I'm like, damn, Russell knows me. And guess what he saw? Two things involved.
Wow.
Yeah. It was David Cow that hooked him up on it. And he talks about it till date. Wow. And based on that two things involved, because he tells me, do that joke. I love that joke. This guy will take me to a concert, 20,000 people, 30,000 people.
Wow.
Two things involved. Up until 2 years ago, I was still doing two things involved for him.
Wow.
You understand? And because a lot of people have not seen it.
Okay.
So every time I do it, it's always an explosion, man. And it's lovely, man. I love it.
Wow.
And their request, you should do it before you leave.
No, you guys have had enough of it.
Let's go and watch it on the stage. 8th April. Let's go and watch it at the conference center. I'm super excited that you came. I mean, this is the first time I've come this close. I've always watched you from afar, and so it will be a great opportunity for us to come watch you on the 8th. Guys, let's all go and support them.
Yes, man. You guys should come through, man.
Ghana 4.
But I'm disappointed because you come here so often.
Yeah.
So by now you should pick up the language.
I know. So it's in it. I know. No, don't be disappointed. It's just now.
Now they say
all the while. I'm not a language person. Even my own local dialect, I don't speak it fluently. Okay. So, and I said to myself, I said, Bright, take it upon yourself, learn it. So the next show, because what I want to start doing is I want to start doing my annual show every year in Ghana, starting from this year. Wow. I have 5 more years, so I have to make it count.
Oh, yes, it'll count.
I have to make it count.
Yes. The 5th year when you are retiring, it will all be in our local language.
Amen. I was actually guess what? On my way here, I was like, wouldn't it be cool if I can speak your language
and people will laugh at
on stage and do a proper set?
Yes.
Do you understand? Sick. It's going to be sick. Trust me, I'm going to do it. I have 5 years to learn it. Because the way I'm going to sign out, right, is on the 5th year, I want to do a tour across the world, if possible, doing a set. And my last show here in Ghana, I would like to do that. Yeah. So let people remember me for that.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'll sign out, drop the mic. For every show I'm done, I'm like, thank you very much, God bless you.
And then you drop the mic.
That's how I'm signing out. So which means I have to buy a lot of mics. Just in case I ruin their mic.
Anyway, thank you so much for coming, man. It's been fun having you. Nabil, thank you very much. Event Factory is bringing you Basketmouth live in concert on the 8th of April at the conference center. How much are we paying to get in?
500 and 300.
Okay, 500 and 300. Nabil, you owe me. Butchie is coming. Foster Roman. Yeah, that guy.
Crazy.
Hey, Foster, another crazy guy. And Obi Amposa. And Lexi. Okay, it's worth it.
Foster Romano is the guy that is on Ghana. Is it the guy that is on? Did I use him?
No, I don't. You use people?
Let me see.
Foster, man, crazy guy. Another crazy guy.
Okay, I know him, but no, it's not the guy. I'm mixing it up.
Where do we get the tickets?
Yeah, you get a ticket at Frankie's in Osu, Accra Mall, Nalen Clothing, Bachuna Total. Or you go to www.vtickets.com.
Okay. That's V-Tickets with an S. Tickets.
V-Tickets.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
V-Tickets.
So 500 Ghana cedis for VIP and 300 Ghana cedis.
How much is that in dollars?
Oh, child. The dollar guy.
50 divided by
$50. That's cheap, man. You know, rich.
$40.
No, you should have made everything VIP now.
So that's Kufuado CDs you talk.
I can't wait, especially Lexi the comic is in action, man. He told a joke about the president the other time. The 1,000 I think you hosted the event. Charlie, can you imagine?
I saw it.
He say, the guy is crazy. He say, so policeman will go eat biscuits. He say, if any car they pass, he just go stop the car. Hey, what do you have in the car? Give me money. Say, we don't have money. What do you have? Anything I go chop. They say biscuits. Say, boys, it's like they lay some with something. So the policeman, he chop that thing some, he high up. So the president, they pass. He don't know say be president. Say, hey, my friend, park. So he parked the motorcade, he parked everybody. Yeah, man, he mind no day. So he rolled down, where he goes, he say, but you know our president is small. So he say he reads there, he see, I say, hey, would you go to school? Hey, Lexi, Charlie. So guys, let's meet on the 8th of April and let's go and laugh. Yes. I'm sure there'll be a lot of surprises too.
Definitely.
Yeah. Thanks very much for coming.
Thank you very much for having me, man. Thank you guys. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Folks,